It's the end of week 2 for Trump's presidency. How's he doing? Well, honestly, I think pretty good. Over the weekend, he announced several tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada at the aims of, well, securing the border, stopping drugs, controversial things. And for a while, everyone was freaking out. Prices are going to skyrocket up. Everything's going to fall apart. There are articles everywhere about how tariffs are bad. And to be fair, most economists tend to think tariffs don't effectively bring jobs back. And if they do bring them back, they're too expensive. I'll show you an article here, if I can pull it up. Where are you? Yeah, here we are. Let me mute that. There we go. So, this is an article released back, I believe in 2019, I think. Trump issued tariffs in his first presidency on washing machines. And they basically led to a 10 to 12% increase in prices. Now, the tariff was almost as high as 50% in some cases. So a 10% increase based on the 50% tariff. So people were thinking, oh, well, 25% is going to be so bad. Our prices are going to go up 25%. Well, not really. Most companies never actually pass the full cost of a tax directly to the consumer. It almost never happens. 9 times out of 10, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen, they split it down the middle. If a 10% tax is put on something, you're going to pay 5. That's usually the way it goes. A lot of companies will eat the tax to, stay relevant in the economy and try to beat out their competition. But, if you keep your numbers the same while everyone else is going up, oh, well, suddenly you're the cool one. So let me scroll down here and go to the final numbers, or the final conclusions here, if I can find them. Scroll down too far. I remember writing these kind of things in college, and yeah, this is actually a really short analysis. I mean, and this is including the citation pages, which is really cheap. Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Sorry. Should have scrolled up to the top already. Yeah, here we go. Their conclusions. They came up with a number of $820,000 in costs to every job created through this program, which was Trump's goal. He wanted to create jobs, so this is what they think happened. That is the annual cost of this. Now, those jobs are not necessarily always annual. They're going to stay in effect. These are factories that people moved here to build these jobs, and they're going to stay here. They're not going anywhere anytime soon, as far as I know. I haven't heard anything. I live near one of these factories. As far as I know, it's still going on, but hey, I don't work there. Maybe there's something I don't know. But as far as I know, these things are still going on. So utilizing tariffs to create jobs does work. Whether it's creating enough, cost, whether the cost is worth the job is the real question. Washing machines may have been a bad idea. But, we never really know what's going to happen with that. Almost every economist, Milton Friedman, everybody thinks that tariffs are bad. I understand their logic. A lot of them they're globalists, let's be fair. But a tariff should only really apply to countries that are not on equal playing field. China deserves a tariff. They should have them. They have a very lax labor laws. There are people that are working in these places are getting paid pennies on the dollar. You can't compete with that in America. You can't have a labor force that's going to work for next to nothing in America. Even though minimum wage here is really cheap, it's cheaper in China. And that goes for a lot of, China's not really third world anymore, more like middle world, second world. But third world countries where people offshore factories too. That's why. They're doing it because of low labor costs and low regulation. Low regulation we can tackle here. And a lot of companies have been getting flack for going to other countries for particularly low environmental regulation. Hopefully pulling out of the Paris Climate Accords here fixes a few environmental regulations here that are actually burdensome without getting rid of all the ones that are important, which I don't really think is going to happen. Under Trump, we actually did have cleaner air and cleaner water, which is, it's hard to say that when you're looking at it from like a outside perspective. Republicans are known to get rid of, regulations, and they're going to get rid of the environment, and everything's going to fall apart and burn down. Eh, they've been saying that for a long time. We're all still here. Ironically enough, the only place burning down is California, which is run by a bunch of liberal Democrats. And well, Trump told them the first time around how to fix that. But that's another video. So, what else has Trump done? What happened with these tariffs? Did anything change? Well, just earlier today, both Mexico and Canada came back and said, "Hey, we're willing to work with you. Give us a pause. We'll secure the border and help stop drugs." Okay. Trump has given them, I think, a 30-day extension, probably just to see if they live up to their promise, and then these tariffs go away, which seems to be what Trump was going to say in the first place. I don't think Trump ever actually intended these tariffs to generate revenue for the federal government or to create jobs in America. Canada is basically America light, with less freedom. And Mexico is more like America's beard with even less freedom somehow. But it's funnier the more I think about it. So they came to the table. Now, is that the best way to negotiate with your allies? Probably not. Did it work? Yeah. Should it have worked? No, it shouldn't have. A lot of things Trump does shouldn't work, but they do. And I love it. I'm here to watch this thing happen. Trump's not going to drive the economy into the dumpster. He's not going to drive America into some foreign war. So whatever he does, if the prices go up 10%, I'm curious to see what happens. It's a risk, but I don't think they're going to go up. If anything, I think prices are going to go down while wages go up. But, no, hey, what do I know, right? Well, what else has happened here? Trump has issued a lot of other executive orders. One of the ones that's most controversial is U.S. aid. He is basically shutting down the department. That's a new one. I did not even know about this agency until pretty much today. I mean, I've heard about it. I will go over Trump's argument. And here, let me go back here for that. These are what he calls waste and abuse. Now, this is a $40 billion agency. These are, to be fair to the Democrats' argument, these are drops in the bucket. But they are drops in the bucket using your money. So why are they spending this money? I have no idea. Equity inclusion in Serbia's workplace? Why do we care about what happens there? That's their own problem. A DEI musical in Ireland? What are we funding in Ireland for? What is this? Electric vehicles for Vietnam? Did we fight a war against them? $40,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia? Transgender comic book in Peru? Sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala? $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt. We're paying money for people to go somewhere else. Gosh. It makes me mad because this is our money. But, golly, guys. This is why the agency is getting shut down. Now, is Trump actually going to leave it shut down? I don't think so. I think he's going to fire just about everybody there and then start from scratch. It does do good work. I mean, I'm fine feeding the hungry in Africa or, building a school somewhere so children can learn to read, or furthering the advancement of English around the world. Those are good things. But funding all this stuff? No. Personalized contraceptive birth control devices in developing countries. What is... Okay. I kind of wish I knew what this was. Is there... Alright, hold on. I gotta see what this is. What is a personalized contraceptive? Like, if you're a woman, is it like your pill, but with your name printed on it? If you're a dude, is it like, a condom, but, has your name on it? Let me see here. Because that's so weird. Let's see. Less intrusive contraceptives for women. Okay. Thank God. At least it's something different. I mean, still, why are we funding... Okay, so it looks like IUDs. That's, additive manufacturing. Let's see. Scientists at the University of Texas. This is from 3printingindustry.com. Scientists at the University of Austin, Texas, pharmaceutical engineering and 3D printing labs have gained U.S. federal backing to create custom additive manufacturing birth control devices. Okay, so a lab in Texas is creating these, and they were being made specifically for developing countries. See, that it just kind of shows your hand a little bit. Democrats have been against, like, basically population growth entirely. They are the Thanos of our generation. Instead of, building more things to house people, finding ways to grow more food, expanding to the stars, which is where we should be going, they would rather limit population. I'm going to get off topic here for a second. There's an episode of Stargate SG-1, and it's a it ends up being an alternate reality, but it's a reality where the main characters meet a group of aliens who are very friendly and willing to share their technology and their medical technology, and they become the greatest, saviors of humanity on Earth. And they come here and they solve all of our problems, and everything's peaceful and great. Teleporters everywhere. It's really cool. All the cool technology and everything. It's great. And then fast forwards 20 years. No one's had any kids, and no one can figure out why. I mean, obviously one of the main characters knows, and this leads to the story, but it's actually a really good way to take over a place, especially if you have a longer lifespan than your opponent. You don't actually have to do anything to them. You don't even have to fight a battle or lift a finger. All you have to do is convince them not to have any children or poison them so that they can't. And if they can't figure out that it's you, all of a sudden your enemies will just die out. They'll go extinct. It makes you wonder if that's what's happening to us now. Population growth in the world itself has dropped significantly in most developing countries. Even America, I believe it's 1.68. I could be wrong. It's 1.6 something last I checked. 2.1 is the replacement rate. The only reason our population grows is thanks to immigration, which I've talked about before, which is why I think it's so important. But, yeah, that's beside the point. Let's go back and see what else Trump's orders are. Like I said, U.S. aid, it's a waste of money. I think we can do better. Sovereign Wealth Fund, I don't know how we're gonna funnel money into that. I'm not even gonna bother looking into it. It's a dream, great idea, Trump, but probably not gonna really do much. But hey, you got to start a savings somehow. Progress in the situation on our southern border, of course. He deployed the National Guard. He sent the military down there to stop it. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, there's a Sovereign Wealth Fund, American Heart Month, President duties to address the flow of illicit drugs, and the tariffs that we already talked about. Yeah, it's not on here. I thought it would be. Let's see. Yeah, one of the reasons he's doing the tariffs against China is for drugs, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. I mean, really, he's done a lot. But not all these deserve talking about. I mean, I'll be honest. It's not on here, at least on this page. But the Indian DEI, super important. I'm surprised that DEI has survived as long as it has. It's clearly illegal. It violates the Civil Rights Act in so many ways. It's not even funny. Whatever happened to hiring people based on their ability and not what they look like? I mean, it's wrong. I mean, it really is. Since when can you hire somebody based on, this color of their skin or what demographic group they fit in or who they're sleeping with? Now, granted, who you're sleeping with usually does get you the job as long as the person you're sleeping with works there. But, yeah, if they don't work there, who you're sleeping with really should have no matter. But, yeah, it's insane. I'm surprised. And if it made it to the Supreme Court, I think it would have failed. And they would have struck it down, but Trump ended it. Let's see, anything else here? And we have reinstating the service members that were fired for not taking the jab. So, He's done a lot. I really am impressed. Every day feels like a year's worth of things is happening, and Trump's gonna survive this, even if some of these things fail. I mean, the whole. I think he paused a lot of U.S. Federal aid and grants to a lot of different organizations, and that was basically struck down. That didn't last very long, and some things fail. It's a good thing. It puts people on notice. Trump is like. It's like you've been playing all day and eating candy, and your mom's not home yet, and your dad's not home yet, and you've just been hanging around playing video games, eating candy all day, and then all of a sudden your dad walks in the door. Oh crap! I have to go do something now and hide all the candy. That's what's happening. All these organizations are hiding the candy, and well, Trump's gonna find it. Now, is he gonna eat it? Probably not. He might share it with the rest of us. The candy being our money, of course. But I think I'll wrap that up for today. What do you think? How was Trump's second week? Would you want to see a third? I sure do. Anyway, have a blessed day.